Ladies and gentlemen, the dynamic duo's in the building. They've been making all types of waves on the internet, got the streets talking, and I can't front, man. They need to start singing a song at churches. Ladies and gentlemen, the Vision is in the building.
Hey.
What's up?
Y'all got caught with us, man. Welcome to the Morning Hustle, bro.
What's going on, man? How you feeling?
Appreciate it.
All the ladies hate y'all.
They don't. No, the funny thing is they really don't. A bunch of them do. They're every day I'm seeing people changing their tune.
Yeah.
They're going back and being like, actually, he didn't really lie, or actually, this record's really catchy, or it's really a bop, or every day we're seeing more and more of that. And it's when I look at the Instagram, it's like it's them doing the selfie videos right now. It's the ladies. Actually, today we just saw the first female response just posted up. Like,
really?
they're coming back with it. So hey, this record is not just for men at all.
They're saying that you're toxic. Jermaine Dupri had to get on the internet and he had to start trolling just like they trolling. They saying, it's crazy because y'all put out all these love songs, right? And I like this. You put out this one, well, no, y'all have other toxic records, but you put out one very, very toxic record, and now it's outrage.
I think that means the people are toxic.
Yeah.
And you're just being honest.
And I disagree. I don't even think the record is toxic. I think I like to call it the honest anthem.
Okay.
Yeah, you're meeting the people where they at. And though women will have a hard time understanding this sometimes, like, just because you, go frolic with somebody else don't mean you don't love the person you with, It's like sampling stuff that costs.
Hold on, you don't understand that concept?
So
let's
if your
about
woman cheats on you, you don't think that that's a way of her showing that she doesn't fully love you? She doesn't mind hurting you. So if you hurt somebody, does that mean you still love them?
I think that cheating is about the ego. I think it's a moment of super selfishness. I think that people have moments of selfishness without losing love.
Yeah,
I do think people can lose love.
More than it's about the
but it's
other
not always
person.
the case.
It's about them.
But how do you know the difference? How do you know?
I'm not saying it's easy to know.
Yeah.
And I think that what we're talking about in this case is somebody who's speaking from a position where they know.
Okay. So it doesn't mean, but it can mean.
Oh, sure. People can cheat if they don't love someone. Absolutely. Yeah. But it doesn't mean that.
I would think that. If someone cheated on me, that knew that.
And that's why we said it.
Yeah,
because I know some
feel.
people have it misconstrued. Also, people take the record as somebody saying, like, I'm cheating, deal with it.
And we're not condoning it.
Like, it's not.
We're just saying
don't let one mess all this up.
It's
so it's kind of condoning.
But that's
people
in
have
that
mistakes.
moment, but we're not telling other people to go out and do this. Like, this isn't a guide for your life. This is an honest conversation, and we're meeting somebody where we were at in that space.
Guys always know how to flip some
But
stuff around.
I think that's what a lot of great records do. Because, some songs you just listen to, the song comes on, it goes off. But how many records lead you to talk about the song when it goes off? And that is doing that right now.
That was the biggest thing that we did, because we've had the record for a few months, and we took our time really, 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 like, testing it and playing it, piling people, strangers in rooms, and just playing it just to see what happens. And every single time, the room would burst into argument, the room would burst into whatever, and the guys and the girls would be having this huge debate. We'd come back an hour later, the room's still like, no, but did it? And we're like, yo, what is happening here? I've never seen this with an R&B record before, and for us, it was just like, that's the best conversation to start the story of this album, because that's what the album is. It's a story.
Dope.
So this is just chapter 1, and it just starts with the ego. So all the stuff that you guys want from R&B, all the stuff you guys look to for Division 4, that's coming. We just have to show this part of the story first before we keep it going.
And I can't confirm it. I heard that Tristan Thompson actually has this song saved as his ringtone.
Anyway.
But 1985, as the producer, right? You know what I'm saying? Well, you got to get things cleared, right? Like, what was Jay-Z's reaction when he first hit?
I didn't talk to Jay, and even when we were making the record, we were kind of going back and forth in the studio, and I was saying to Jermaine, I'm like, if I sample this record, are we actually going to get it cleared?
Right.
Like, let's have the conversation, because that's not the easiest thing to get cleared, And he's like, yo, you do what you got to do, and I'll text Jay. And I'm like, all right.
If anyone could get it done, right? And he was actually the first person to call your record toxic. And maybe that's what started the conversation.
That's probably what it was.
The Jay-Z text message. So that was officially Jay-Z and Jermaine talking. Yeah. That wasn't just promo material.
No, that was the real
facts.
And what did y'all feel when you seen that message from Jay?
I mean, that's a super fan moment. We're looking at two goats, two guys who've looked at our whole lives, literally having, like, good friend talk over our song.
Yeah.
Right. So that alone just made us feel like, oh shoot, this is like a fan moment. But to see his reaction to it, the biggest thing that I remember on top of that was, I never thought Song Cry was toxic.
Neither
did you guys
did
think
I.
Song Cry was toxic?
Yes.
I thought something was wrong with me.
No, I was like,
saw
Song
that, I was
Cry.
like,
What is wrong with y'all?
what are my
I had to go back
toxicity
and
levels?
listen to it.
What?
When you heard Soundcry,
What's
how
the
did you
difference?
feel?
I was just fucking them girls. I was gonna get right back.
So what's the
That
difference?
was
What's the
a
difference
line.
between accountability, like honesty, and toxicity to you then?
I mean, you saying that you did it, okay, yeah. You
So
took-
then what is
But
toxic
that doesn't
then?
make it okay.
No,
just
no,
because
but
you
so
admit to it.
If you talk about something that you've done that's bad, you're now toxic?
But you're saying it like it's nothing. Like, oh man, I was just to me, that's like the ultimate disrespect, the ultimate betrayal was you stepping out. So for you to say it like you just was picking up
But
McDonald's, you was gonna come back home.
He shows that the girl clearly didn't stay and she left him. So he's telling you a story.
Eventually,
He's saying,
after girl number how many?
But he's
We don't
basically
know.
saying, I wanted to cry because of these mistakes.
Oh,
I
you
made."
wanted to, but you didn't.
He couldn't.
He couldn't. He had to let the
He
song
couldn't see
do
it
it.
coming
No,
down
he
his
couldn't. He
eyes.
could sleep with the girls instead.
I was
Come
so
on.
floored by Jay-Z's vulnerability. I didn't see none of those other names.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I was like, wow,
Oh,
he's
he's
really
crying.
coming out and he's saying I just don't understand the difference between admitting your flaws and toxicity these days. It seems
I
like
mean,
people are confusing that. to
in the
me.
moment, right? When you're doing it and if you're confronting your problems and you're trying to fix them versus you're doing your problems, now the person wants to leave you want to be like, wait, I was wrong and I was toxic that's two totally different things.
Here's the thing, because this is part of a bigger story.
Yeah.
When you get this one snippet from this song, it feels like there is a bit of a dismissal happening.
Yeah, it's like, I hate
but
you
there's so
guys.
many things that are going to be further addressed that you just can't put into one record.
Is
you
that
know?
second song on the end of the video that you guys have?
That's definitely one of the records that we have coming.
It
That's
sounds
definitely
good.
that's definitely part of the story.
And like, what's so dope is the fact that you guys clearly have a process and your process works. And on this new album, you guys are in the studio with the legendary Jermaine Dupri, who also has a proven track record in his process work. Is there a lot of pressure going in? You know what I'm saying? Like, especially like getting this type of feedback off the first single too.
I'll tell you what. The first session that I went and had with him, it was just me and him. And in that moment, I felt super pressure. I'm like, oh man, it's Jermaine Dupri. Like, what do I play him? What do I say? I don't want to come in here. Oh, you make me wanna. Like, what am I gonna say to him? Like, but at this point, it's legitimate, complete and utter brotherhood at this point.
Dope.
Like, like from spending time with the family, the mom, the daughters, I spent my holidays with him. At the house, we're all sitting in the studio and we'll go for 3 days just smoking hookah and talking about life before we even get to a record. So it's literal homie stuff at this time. We have a Mortal Kombat tournament going on right now. Like this is me for sure. Let's get that very clear, Jermaine. Don't front.
And why Jermaine Dupri? Because you've worked with so many different artists, so many different producers, from Drake, Todd Dolla $ign, and now Jermaine Dupri. So what was it? Did he approach y'all? Did y'all approach him?
No, I'll give the alley-oop to our management team, LVRN. They kind of pieced together just trying to get one session together. And the one session just turned into like, hey, what are you doing tomorrow? And the next day turned, yeah, what are you doing tomorrow? And I've been here for 9 months. At this
Wow.
point. Album is pretty much done.
Now, for people who maybe have been under a rock and just getting familiar with Division, just based off of this, the runaway success of this new single, how did y'all even become a thing?
Both of our love for our hip hop, both of our love for.
Yeah, I think we probably talked about rap and hip hop before even any R&B or even knowing that we want to do R&B together or even as a group.
Yeah, for sure. It wasn't in the beginning. It definitely wasn't. It wasn't a group situation. It was the exact same thing. It was I'm a singer artist. He's a producer, and we made music. And then at some point we came up with an idea like, hey, if we ever start like a label or a collective, like we call a movement like Division, and be separated from the rest, and people that are on their own vibe, even if it means being divided from everybody else. So we're like, we could do that. And then when it came time to drop music, I mean, he had already kind of catapulted. He became, Drake's secret weapon with, Hotline Bling and For Free and Hold On, We're Going Home. And I'm still in Toronto at this time. Like, oh man, he's going. Okay, cool. Like, maybe this was just my journey was just to, be there up until this point to help him get there. I wasn't even thinking this was going to really pan out. And he kind of believed in it still. And he was like, listen, that stuff that we were working on, we're going to drop it. Prepare for your life to change. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, you're going to upload a song to SoundCloud. What do you think's going to happen? And he did. And
it went crazy. Yeah.
It was a quick response because I don't think people realize before we actually got signed to OVO, we had the full September 5th done. Like that wasn't after joining with OVO. So we signed and put out that album maybe like a month later.
And the culture shock, is there any of that when it comes from Canada to Atlanta? Like, what's the big differences? I know y'all just recently did Magic City Mondays, and that's a big staple in Atlanta. Is there a big difference in the strip club culture in Atlanta versus Canada?
Oh, for sure.
How does it work out?
For sure. We don't have anything like that at all. Toronto, like at all. We have strip clubs, but it's the vibe. Like the vibe is not the same thing.
It's not even close.
It's not even. Okay. There isn't any big, real, huge, popular black strip clubs really in Toronto. All that stuff is like the underground hood stuff for the strip clubs. The major strip clubs they're a lot more mixed. They don't cater to as much of the things that I think we as a culture look for. Like, I can't get my hookah, my food, my liquor, and my all rap music with women like this that are actually like talented, and actually doing some dope stuff all in the same place.
Really?
No, you have to remember, there's no dollar bill in Canada.
So like,
y'all even cashless out there?
No, you got
we
no coin.
We don't have $1.
You got no coin.
We don't have like singles.
So we have to buy American singles to throw those. It's a whole.
That's too much of a process.
It's not the same.
So wait, the smallest bill is a 5?
Yeah.
Okay, so why can't y'all got it? You got to.
We are not the whole culture.
They got to do way more for that.
That's a lot.
Do they even offer lemon pepper wet in Canada? Because I know
they got what do you call it? Poutine.
We have Tim Hortons.
We have lemon pepper. We have lemon pepper wings, but we don't have lemon pepper wets really.
It got like real lemon on it. Like you got
Don't do that. Toronto, don't take this.
Oh man. So I mean, like, everything is going right. What do you guys feel like you both had to sacrifice for this level of success?
I think relationships overall.
Really, relationship?
Oh my God.
Because every relationship you have in some way suffers because you put so much into this. By the time you're done, you have not much time. You just don't have the capacity to give, whether it's a friend, a girlfriend, a family member. You just don't have the amount of time that the average person who works a 9 to 5 would have to.
Right. Daniel, is that what happened with you and Ari Lennox?
What happened?
Relationship.
That's my homegirl. Shout out Ari Lennox.
So for a while, the blogs were saying that y'all were a couple, and they had some pictures of y'all in a few clubs together. Y'all was gazing in each other's eyes. It was real cute.
That's the homie, man. Shout out Ari.
So nothing more, nothing less. Oh, okay. Y'all both single?
Yes.
So is it because of the fact that you're so well involved?
I mean,
in
it's
music
tough. I mean,
right
I'm sure
now?
you guys all know what it is. Like in this game, in this business, like the time and people understanding your life is completely different because we live a different life as people that make our living through our passion.
But I don't even think me and Lore'l really could relate because you guys do R&B music, which brings out chicks in droves.
Yeah.
So I imagine that your quality control and selection just have to be at a different level.
Wow.
It's
I would think so.
It's not rap fans. It's different than your typical rap fans. Ladies are showing up because they want in on the action.
Especially mobile ladies. You can work from home nowadays and stuff, so they can just hit the road.
One thing about Division, we have beautiful fans. Shout out to all of them. You guys come out. You guys make the whole night worth it.
Like, of course, I love you. I love all y'all.
My favorite. Wow. My favorite part of this job is performing for sure because of them.
And I think if you listen to the music, you can tell that this isn't new to the lives we've been living. That's why it hits like that, because we're telling stories that we've been kind of experiencing way before we were Division or known as anything. So we haven't changed that aspect of how we approach women or relationships or any of those things.
You talked about performing. I want to know, do women still throw panties at the stage and stuff like that?
Absolutely.
Do you collect them? What do you do with them?
No, absolutely not.
Do you dodge them? Like,
We're in a
Like, what do you
I just let it happen. I let it hit the floor, and give it a look and keep it moving. So I'm trying to find out like which one that was that threw that. But I mean, they do it. I just take it as a sign of appreciation.
Yeah, because they're throwing water bottles at Kid Cudi,
There
so
you
you
go.
better be glad it's panties.
I'll stick with the panties.
do you remember where y'all were when y'all had that first moment where like all the dots felt like they were connecting? Like, you went from singing these songs yourself and now the crowd got your back and they singing the songs just as
To be
louder than
honest,
you.
The first time we went on tour, I was shocked. I think it was Houston. I think it was because they were pretty early, and I think I remember going out. It was Warehouse Live, and I couldn't hear myself. I was like, well, how do they know every single word? And we just put out this project, and we're doing this little tiny 10 city tour just to like get our feet wet and see what's going on. And the fact that they all sold out, the fact that we were hearing them singing and going along with every record the DJ was just playing on the warm-up, I was like, what's going on? Why are they so excited? Like, what, do they think someone else is here? And then when I got out there, I was like, oh, this is the best feeling in the world.
How hard was it for y'all to go to sleep that night, man? Because, like, I mean, as an artist, that's what you want, to connect and, like, how the art means something to somebody.
Yeah, I think I always have that feeling of, is this really happening? And I don't ever really want to get comfortable with it. Because I feel like once you actually expect it or it doesn't affect you, then you should probably move on or find a way to get re-inspired, because it's not normal. The average person will never have the feeling of putting out a song on radio or 100 or 1,000 or 10,000 people singing like a record that you made maybe at home or in a closet, or some of these songs came from us when we didn't even have real studios.
We're gonna go back to this toxic stuff. So Mal and Rory, y'all would know them. They got the podcast.
Yeah, for sure.
What made y'all pick him?
We've just been cool with them. As individuals, our management team, we've all been cool with them from separate avenues, and we were thinking, who's a good person to play, my toxic or my ain't shit friend. Sorry,
You good?
Who's the person to do that? And we're like, do we get like a comedian? Do we get like, one of these actors?
Yeah.
And we're just like, why don't we just get someone that you've actually hung around with that's got that kind of personality? So
That's actually
we
that.
picked them all, and then the idea from him of like, the fact that he's a podcaster and all that stuff like that, and we knew this record was such a conversational record, so we're like, a podcaster fits, and then that gave us the idea to invite Drea and invite Lex from Poor Minds, because we're like, this is more people that push conversation.
Yeah.
So we wanted that energy all through it, and here we are.
And all your stuff
Brilliant.
got ruined. Did that ever happen to you in real life, either one of you? Have you ever got... I know you told me a situation on Lip Service a while back.
What was it?
Well, the two women got into a fight
Oh,
over
that's a
you.
different
You
one.
cheated.
Yeah, it's a different situation.
But did anything ever happen to your stuff in the process?
Me, yes. I don't know if I'll let you
I
go
found my
first.
car scratched.
You said it like it was nothing. Is that okay? What kind of car?
Audi A4,
And scratched it all up like...
all 4 doors.
When that happens, do you replace the car or do you just get the stuff buffed out? Like,
No, you can get it buffed out. It's not cheap, but you can do it.
did you feel violated though? Like after that happened,
Well,
like
the
I
crazy
can't
part
believe
is
this.
I wasn't home. I was in LA, living at Drake's house at the time because we were working on Nothing Was the Same. So I wasn't home for months. So I didn't know what happened. So when I came home, I was like, whoa, like, because it happened months before, and I had stopped talking to the person. So
Oh,
it was
my
just
God.
like, I'm like, do I now call this person? Like, what is like?
Does she even remember she did it at this point?
Well,
Like,
that's
by
the
time you
crazy
get
part,
back?
because I asked her about it, and she was like, no, I didn't do that. And I'm like, are you sure? Because you're the only person that had access to the house, and the car was in the garage.
Ah, damn.
And then she was like, oh, because I literally think she forgot. Like, in the heat of the moment, she did it. And then by the time I had gotten back, we were on better terms.
Damn.
And I asked her about it. I'm like, yo, what happened to the car? Like,
This woman Canadian?
Crazy.
yeah.
A Canadian, like, what are Canadian women like other than beautiful? Like, for the
She didn't have an outlet. There was no strip club for her to go dance at.
shake her anger off.
Yeah.
Like, what's the typical Canadian woman like?
So we can only speak about Toronto.
Okay, so what's the Toronto woman?
women? I mean, the Caribbean island culture runs that city.
Yeah.
That's what we live and breathe in. So I think that women tend to be a little bit more. I'd like to say stush, but that's not really an American word.
Yeah, what that mean?
That just means like they're a little bit their nose is a little bit higher. They walk with a different kind of pride.
Oh,
Like island
bougie.
women. It's not even bouginess. It's almost just like a certain wall that you ever go to island restaurants and the ladies not that nice.
Yeah.
That's how
What
they
you
are.
on?
Yeah. Where you want?
Where you on?
But it's the smile that lets you know it's still okay.
It's
Yeah.
that, you know.
I still want to hear your vandalism story.
I'll tell you. But yeah, you know, so I think that they have a little bit of that. They're experiencing some new things. They're evolving right now because our city feels like it got discovered after Drake to people outside of it. And so now the girls there are all getting a different kind of attention because now people know where Toronto is. So the ball players, the athletes, the actors, everyone wants to now see there. So now the girls are starting to realize, oh, we're gorgeous and they just haven't been able to see us. Yeah. So now we can get into all the other stuff that, you know, comes with attention and new options and having access to whoever. So
And because Drake said girls want girls where I'm from.
oh my God.
I knew Toronto had the goods when Tamia came out. I'm like, word, that's what we doing over here?
Yeah, no.
Yo, it's a vibe. So, like,
Toronto,
any
man.
growing pains that come from being in a group? You know, you guys spend countless hours together, like, day in, day out, you know, and sometimes.
You know what's crazy? We don't spend as much time together as people would think.
Okay.
Because it's almost like with your brother, like your actual brother. It's like you guys are brothers, but you don't have to be next to each other all the time. He's a producer that moves around, still producing hit records for people all the time. We live separate lives. So I think that allows us to, when we actually lock in, it's like, all right, hey, let's get to it, you know?
Gotcha.
The brotherhood is there. We can fight, we can argue, we can disagree on how many different things. We're very different people, but we know what we do great together always. And there's a certain level of respect that we will always have for each other's opinions and minds when it comes to this thing that we're passionate about.
Now,
What
y'all
happens
bring
when
some
y'all
dope.
bump heads though? Who's there to kind of be like, all right, or is it one or the other that usually comes
Pretty
back?
good at trusting the other person enough that I think if one of us is like, no.
Yeah, if one of us is going hard on the
this
no,
has to be like this.
gotta go.
The other one would kind of
all right,
tend
man,
to back
he's
off.
seeing something.
Oh, that's nice. That's
If we're
good.
both
Yeah.
in the middle, we'll keep going back and forth.
Yeah,
but if one of us is like, no, this
Kinda
is the way, then we normally just leave it alone.
That's dope.
Would you trade this R&B life for rap life?
Yes.
Definitely not.
You know, because one thing you
That
don't
shows
see
the
a lot of-
difference. That shows the division in division, right?
Look, fight. Who's gonna win this one?
And that's funny because that's funny that he says that because I'm the one that was rapping when we met.
Wow.
But
Well,
I
I
would
was
trade
making
it.
rap beats when we met too.
Yo, the versatility in your musical palette is impressive.
Yeah.
The fact that you could do and dabble it all. You still got like a hot 16 on deck?
No, not on deck.
But if you had the right one, for sure.
Oh, flames.
What was your rap name when you was rapping?
Oh, he doesn't want to know that. D Money.
There's nothing wrong with that.
That's
Ain't that
trash.
somebody's name now? I'm like, that's
Somebody
somebody's
from
name.
Def Jam
D-Money?
Vendetta?
No.
Like, you know, not one of the main
D-Money.
characters, but he was a side dude.
Yeah, that's
We
terrible.
could just called you Money.
That's-
You know what I
that's
mean?
what they
Yeah,
call me.
just
They used to
yeah.
call me Money, yeah.
See?
You know what's crazy is I feel like at the end of this, whenever this, you know, our careers have, you know, hit that space and we're legacy acts, I hope people go and really break down the music because, like, it's funny just saying all that we just said. It's all in even just if I get caught. You get a blues styled chord progression. You're getting an R&B vocal with rap bravado and a Jay-Z song cry sample with big 808
Right.
down south feeling thing all mixed together in one record.
And some people tried to argue about that, right? Because that was Jermaine's defense, that it was blues.
It's like people just needed a second to get over some of the outrage.
Yeah.
And now everyone's like, oh, wait, okay. Yeah.
Whenever it's a new sound or something new, even if it's like a topic that makes them outraged, it's like they have to get adjusted to it.
Yeah.
So it is hard sometimes being the creators of a new sound or whatever.
Absolutely.
But it still has to be done,
It
right?
has to be done. Someone's got to lead the way.
Exactly. Vandalism story.
Okay. I actually lived something very close to the video. So,
Wow.
I came home, and the Valentine's Day gift that I bought. So when I came home, I literally had my girl at the time at the crib, and I went for a run. Like I went to go work out, and I just came back, and she had destroyed the bear, all the things that I bought her for Valentine's Day were ripped up into shreds all over the place because she found a condom wrapper that she was positive I had used on a trip.
Okay.
And then realized that she's forgetting the last time that we were interactive. And I'm like, that's exactly where it was when that time that, and that was me and you. She was like, and I was like, you killed the bear. Why?
At least it was just the bear.
Did you replace the bear?
What? No, me replace the bear that she murdered? No, she should go
He had to
replace the bear.
he needed a bear now.
Yeah, give me a bear. We need a family.
Who's
of
the bear
bears
really
now.
for?
It was
But did you cheat on her ever?
No. Her, no.
Good answer. Very specific. Her, no.
You
For the
said
others,
no.
her, no.
Her, no.
The honest anthem out now.
He knows she watching this shit. Her? No, never.
Reading the transcripts and everything. All right, so you guys are very tight-knit, man. So we want to play a game with y'all called Same Damn Time. I'm going to throw some questions out at y'all. Y'all both got to answer at the same damn time. Division is in the building.
All right.
We got 1985. We got Daniel Daly in the building. All right. Who was the most likely to be on time? 1, 2, 3. Go.
Me.
They gave you a government name.
Damn.
Paul sounds punctual.
Yeah,
Paul is
very
on point.
punctual.
Okay?
Punctual P.
I don't know about 1985, but Paul.
Punctual P. Yeah,
If this was the NBA, who has the highest average of rebounding chicks on tour?
who gets more?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
I think it's me.
She's on stage
I'm the one
singing
that's on
the
stage,
panties,
right? He's not on stage.
But
He's
what about
getting
give
a
the drummer
panty.
some?
No, all the drummer gets some.
Rebounds.
The drummer got some.
Drummer gets some.
Who spends the most money recklessly? 1, 2,
Him
3.
for sure.
Me, it has to be me.
Okay. Who is more likely to go out after the show?
Me.
Yeah, there's a lot of me's over there.
I can feel both would, but yeah.
I think there's times
After
where
the show?
you'll fall back. You know what I mean? I think you might fall. I think so. I think me.
Okay. Who is the most likely, like if something popped off, right? If you saw Drake getting jumped by fake Drake, who's the most likely to jump?
That's only one person. How can he jump him?
People are bipolar and got multiple personalities.
Mad fake Drakes.
Yeah, it's like 2 fake Drakes and a Tekashi 6'7", right? They're jumping Drake. Who's jumping in first?
I think we both would.
Yeah.
I think me.
Okay. Who's the last one between the two of you to get hung up on?
Hung up on-
By each other?
Not by each other. It
By
seems like
a
y'all don't have that
woman.
kind of vibe. But like who had a woman hang up on them last?
Oh,
Oh.
I probably me.
You know what you know. Yo, man, we can't wait to see how this project comes out, man. Like, yo, the first couple Orphan and even a body of work that you guys got behind you has been phenomenal, man. You want to set up the record real quick?
Yeah, let's get
Let's
it.
go for it.
This is If I Get Caught, the Honest Anthem, Summer Anthem 2022, Division, playing right now on The Morning Hustle.
We are the Morning Hustle.